Well, like I said, I checked out episode 1 of Sakugan. Very enjoyable. I will say a lot of the questions that Zach, you may develop or listeners may develop as I kind of a general breakdown, they have not been answered yet.
Okay.
Which is also some same questions I had coming into the show. So they have not been answered yet, but obviously we are assuming they will over time. So the series does follow a 9-year-old named Mimimpa. And if you're a fan of the book, Sakugan Labyrinth Maker, or a fan of the manga that just started in August, I'm sorry if I offend you because I may just refer to her as Meme a lot. Because it's her name is spelt with meme, so, and I'm a child, so she may get called Meme a lot, but it focuses on Mimimpa and her father Gagampa, where they are just they're minors. So as I've kind of just briefly described,
like you said, she's 9 years old, like as like a minor or minor.
Minor, like Minecraft.
Okay.
Good catch. But yes, as an actual minor, like Minecraft. Thank you. I wasn't even going to think about that. But anyway, so as I've kind of explained before, this series focuses on people living underground, basically shoulder to shoulder, and like these mining, mining cities or whatever. And like my questions coming into this is, why are these people underground? What's wrong with the surface? Those are a couple of questions that, like, for example, don't get addressed in this first episode, that I'm assuming they will over time. Another question I had is, what's the deal with the labyrinths? Again, not addressed here, but it's definitely, this episode really hinted at that. I will say in terms of like the questions of what's wrong with the surface or whatever, why we're underground, that was like not addressed at all. So hopefully it does get addressed later
because no one wants to think about the surface. Fuck the surface. We got labyrinths. Yeah, screw that.
Yeah, bingo. The labyrinth is where it's at. So these two, so in Mimimpa's case, she really wants to be a marker, which is a person that goes through the labyrinths to the unmarked territories and basically explores the labyrinths underground.
Oh, I already hate that name.
The marker.
Yes.
Yeah.
I already hate that name.
You hate the marker. Why do you hate marker?
Because literally, I mean, I guess I don't necessarily hate it. I just dislike how uninventive it because they're literally...
Oh, fair.
Because
kind of like Die Sword, the Sword of Die.
Yeah, no, I hate that shit too. I actually do hate that one. But her job title that she's wanting is just being a marker, which, I mean, I guess it works because it entails that she's going to be mapping out the labyrinth, but at the same time, I'm just like, why?
To explore what's down there, man. Get rich, find unique whatever. Who knows? It's unmarked territories. So, she's a genius, right? Like she's already graduated freaking college.
Like Senku?
Yeah, like.
Or would she technically be smarter than Senku since Senku never technically graduated college?
Fair point. Actually, that would be a good debate one day, is who is more intelligent, her or Senku. Good debate. But she is 9 years old and graduated college, so...
And Senku's just an overly smart high schooler.
Yeah, might have to give the edge to her a little bit. I mean, she's already graduated college and working. She's working in the mines.
So wait. You say, so is pretty much natural, it's regular society just underground?
Yeah, and that's what's very interesting is because, like, the city they're living in, it's completely normal. Like... These people, like, they dress like what we would. They do things that, like, we would do. Like, this is a completely normal life, but it's just underground in a big underground city, and it doesn't get addressed. And I'm just like, okay, kind of interesting, but whatever. So in the father's case, he's very anti her becoming a marker. Okay, just because it's just like, you're 9 years old, it's dangerous. No, and like he's like, she constantly tries to play like escape games and basically run away from home, and he has to go stop her and stuff. That's literally how the episode started, was her trying to make an escape and him stopping her. And they're like a father-daughter like mining duo, whatever. They operate in the same mech together. They have friends that are the same situation, a father-daughter duo that operates.
Wait, mechs?
Yes, they have mechs that do all the mining for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't personally go swing the pickaxe. They have actual mechs that do all of the actual mining. Because there's also kaijus in this, and they need the mechs to protect them. Yes, there are kaijus that live in the labyrinth, which they use the mechs to battle them out with them. But when it comes to the father, he's just kind of like a loser in a way. Like he kind of doesn't really do anything with his life, which she points out a lot, that all the money he gets, he just spends going out drinking with his friends.
Yeah,
just living the life, just kind of a bum. And she's trying to like do all these incredible things to be a marker. Like most notably, she draws this picture of like it almost looks like a field and there's like a large tower in it, and she says she keeps having dreams about this field, and she fully believes it exists, that she wants to find this. And then sure enough, which this is also was not explained, so don't ask, I don't have an answer, they got a package in the mail from who I do not know that included a picture of that thing that she's seen in her dreams, an actual picture, and it comes with a little orange gem, and her and her friend, you know, kind of like mess with the gem a little bit. And they, you know, again, she's a freaking genius, discover that the gem is actually kind of like it's a map. They shine a flashlight to it and it shows a map through different parts of the labyrinth. And she still wants to be a marker. You know, her, you know, their friend duo, you know, the other father mining duo, I'm drawing a blank on their names, unfortunately. I'm great at this show and taking notes. They do a lot of different things, whether if it's like helping protect the city from kaijus and stuff, you know, like some sort of like whatever defense force, whatever it's called, or they go, you know, they're a marking duo together, whatever. They do all this great stuff. And like, they even like the father almost like kind of points out to Gagamba, it's like, hey, you can't always hold your daughter back, which is, again, she's 9 years old. So it's like, Gagamba, yeah, he's in a fair place to say, hey, let's not do this, because again, she's a literal child. So he's just being a caring father. And, you know, meanwhile, the other dad, who has an older daughter, mind you, who's like, you know, she's not an adult, but she's like probably like 16, something like that. You know, they're off doing their things. And he's just like, yeah, you just got to let kids grow up and be kids. You can't keep them here forever. Again, she's 9 years old. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, kids go adventuring all the time.
Well, not in this case. In this case, we're actually getting a little bit of realism, which, okay, it's a little bit, that is a kind of a nice change of pace, where it's not like every other anime where you have literal 9-year-olds fighting these massive demons or whatever, saving the planet. It's a nice change of pace to have a caring father.
I go out there, Dad? Ash went out training when he was 10.
And he's still 10, and it's been 20 years. But, you know, and, you know, it does kind of tease a little bit more of like, where the father kind of stays in his stance on this, where, you know, he comes home and, you know, he's drunk, and, you know, she's, you know, working up some stuff on the computers. This is after they find the map, and she acts like she's asleep, and he basically just says, like, as any father naturally would, I just don't want you to like grow up yet. You're 9 years old. Just stay a kid a little bit longer, like any father naturally would. So he's literally just a loving dad is all it comes down to. Mother is not in the picture, obviously. That is a big mystery here that, you know, we'll see if that gets addressed. Probably
she became a mole person. She leads the kaijus with Kafka.
Maybe. We'll see.
I've called weirder stuff, so it's possible.
I mean, you basically called the entire plot of Mission Yozakura Family, as I explained it for the first time ever. It's like, oh, what? Did she give like special blood? Actually, yes. Oh, wait, did she do this? Actually, yes.
Did they get married so the brother wouldn't kill him?
Oh, yes, actually. Yeah, you did call that. Fucking Jesus Christ. So the end of the episode was top tier stuff. Because when it comes to like Gagampa and like kind of his stance on stuff, it kind of teases at a couple different points, like why he doesn't want her to be a marker, like as if basically hinting that he was a marker, right? It doesn't address it straightforward, but it definitely hints at it. And the end of the episode basically hammers that home, because at the end of the episode, a pretty large kaiju busts into the city. The city's basically like surrounded by a giant dome within the underground. Kaiju bust in. You have like all the different mechs trying to fight it off and stuff. Our other, you know, father-daughter duo that you've come to know, you know, the daughter being very supportive of Memimpa and her dreams and everything, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh yeah, you know, go be a rebel, go be a marker, go do your thing. In this moment, she actually acts like the older person here and says, you know, when Mimpa's trying to go help, and, you know, she's trying to go with her dad in this mech to go fight a kaiju, right? She tells Mimimpa, no, you need to stay the fuck back and let the adults handle this. Like, so she actually takes a moment where, you know, kind of obviously hurts Mimimpa a little bit. And then, dude, this shot was so well animated, and it caught me off guard so hardcore. I wish I had an effect that I was trying to put on the board before we started of Diaz from episode 50, where it's like, shocker, I cried. It's shocker, I fucking cried. So right as that father and duo, they're flying off in the mech, you know, he says to her, he's just like, you know, you've really grown up. I'm really proud of you. And she like, kind of, lets out a little smirk, whatever. And then it's like almost slow motion of where one side of the screen, you just see it like coming, imploding in, turning white and red. And like, her eyes was closed as she was smirking. You see her eyes like slowly open as the mech fucking completely explodes from the kaiju, killing them both. And I'm just like, bro.
What's with you in choosing series that kills characters off in the very first episode?
It just happens, man. I don't aim for this. You're
aiming for it this season because you're like 2 for 3 at this point.
I am. It just happens. Okay, I don't know.
I guess maybe you're actually 3 for 3 because didn't something happen to somebody in the first episode of Ghost Game too?
No one actually died. Like whenever it came to Clockmon, he basically just put people at a near-death state because they were all shown in the hospital. It's still Digimon. It's still a kid show, so they don't have the balls to actually kill someone.
Go look at season 3. They killed a lot of people in season 3.
Okay, fair. Season 3 was very, very dark, and people don't remember that. Digimon Tamers is a top-tier series. It really is. Even today, out of all the Digimon, actually, while I am very biased towards Frontier, I would say anyone can go watch Digimon Tamers and have a fucking hell of a ride.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is the number one where I recommend everyone to go watch.
That was a very questionable show for kids at the age of like 10 to 12 to watch.
Yes, bingo. So finishing up the episode here, Mimimpa's obviously just stunned at what just happened. She just watched 2 people she cares about very much just like their mechs explode from the kaiju right in front of her. Ganganpa, he picks her up and he's trying to run and stuff, and they come to like an underground port. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they come down to a little area that you can go even further underground.
We gotta go deeper.
Yeah, gotta go deeper, boys. And then she kind of stops on the stairs and she's crying and she's emotional. And this is like the first time, it kind of acknowledges this is the first time that she's really felt this way, where she literally feels, as a 9-year-old would, very vulnerable, right? But she's saying even though she feels this way and she's scared and hurt and whatever, she still wants to go to this place. She still wants to explore. And she's like, am I crazy? And at that point, you see he's thinking about what was said to him, that, hey, you're not going to always be able to hold your kids back, whatever. So naturally, his only natural response is to let her go, but he's going with her. So he, picks her up again. They're running to, an area. He's saying that, I have to protect you. I have to protect you. You are my daughter. I know I'm a lousy father, but you are still my daughter. And then, like I mentioned, when it comes to the hinting that he's maybe done this before, goes into some large garage, pulls off a giant sheet, and there's one like a marker mech, and he starts turning it on. And she's like, completely shocked that this is here. So that to me obviously further says, oh yeah, look at that, he probably was a marker, and maybe something horribly tragic happened, like maybe his wife died. Who knows? We'll see if I called that. I haven't read the book, obviously. I didn't know this was a book. I had to fact check it 5 minutes ago because I didn't know.